The next thing I wanted to talk about were the marshals. There's 2 different ways you can go. Marshals or spellcasters. You can mix them too. But the marshals are based on stamina. They have a smaller pool to choose from. And you can gain stamina and lose stamina during a fight. So, and different classes regain them in different ways. So
yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, so the barbarians will gain it by hitting hard or getting hit hard.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love, because that's always I felt missing for barbarians.
Was it? I think it was
that they like to get hit.
Yes, yeah.
You
So
know?
you can actually regain, and it makes me think of like video games where you have your little bars, and it's
Oh yeah, like
So your
wasn't Mortal
stamina bar,
Kombat?
yeah.
If you got hit and not, you could power up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the fighter games do that.
Yeah. So it has that kind of feel to it, which
But
I
also
really
has a
like.
real feel to it because you're not on a dungeon crawl. I want to test this on a dungeon crawl because of the resource control management idea
Right.
of the stamina, of the health, and stuff like that. I think that could be a lot of fun working your way through that. And then there's you were saying, we'll keep going with this. I was going to jump to spellcasting, but keep going with your martial stamina.
Yeah, I got a little bit more.
Kristen keeps the voice focused.
Yeah.
Kristen and Michelle.
It's also excited.
So all the marshals have access to maneuvers, which I played a fighter character very recently in our Nobles of Waterdeep show, and he was a fighter who used maneuvers.
5th edition.
So,
yeah.
5th edition. And so...
Did you thumbs down? Everybody drank. Thumbs down. Everybody has to drink if Jake makes fun of 5e.
You can spend additional points to add maneuvers. I believe it's like maneuvers you've learned that you choose from. So, and then there are also defensive maneuvers. And then there are techniques, and there's a list you can choose from for those. And then you have weapons, which have passive and active effects on them. So that's the martial kind of breakdown.
Absolutely.
Do you want to take over Spellcasters?
Well, no.
I see you in chat.
No, I just wanted to comment that the resource of the stamina being inside combat only. And yes, that is true. I was just saying in general, the whole system I think would be really fun through a dungeon crawl because in combat you have a resource you have to manage as part of it. So,
and I'm sure they've already found this in alpha test. I'm sure people have found ways to ask to use stamina outside of combat and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm sure people can push the system. We don't know anybody who does that.
No, nobody.
All right, so
I
tell
might be
me.
guilty of that.
Spellcaster.
Well, how about you tell me about mana points?
Yes, so mana points are I have in spell enhancement, so you can pour points into it. You can combine or enhance the spells in many different ways. That's what I thought was really cool. So you won't not only have a fireball, but you can have a fireball that splits off and hits other enemies depending on how many points you're adding into it. And instead of having weapons, you have cantrips that have passive and active effects. So every spell will have a spell check to it. We talked about how heal will always have a minimum of 2. Natural 1 is a fail. 𝑦5 applies. And players can combine spells together. So two different players
I must have missed
can
that.
work together to combine spells.
How did I miss
They have the
this?
same one.
This is why I need to run it.
And you don't forget your spells. You gain your spells over time and you keep them. You're not just like all of a sudden one day I forgot how to do that. Like after I've been doing it for many years. And there's no prepping of spells. You have your spells, you have your spell sheet, and you can use any of those depending on how many points you have left.
Wow. No, it's a lot to take in, but it's not. Like you're looking at it. I'm looking at the character sheet. It's pretty. It's simple. It's intuitive, and it makes sense. And then, like I said, it's pulling from multiple different systems, in my opinion, the good and making it into something special.
Yeah.
Something that's going to create great storytelling. Now, as you guys are reading through this and listening to Dungeon Coach talk, what are some characters, ideas that instantly come to your mind that you couldn't make in 5th edition or Pathfinder?
I got one.
I want to hear it.
It's kind of funny because it actually goes into multi-classing. Did you guys talk about that?
Not yet. No.
It could lead because of the way he set up a multi-classing. I was like, you could totally make a Jedi with this now, because you take the Scion So if you want to be a Jedi Counselor, you could start with Scion and then multiclass with Little Fighter. Muscle Wizard Galaxy, yes, absolutely. Everyone always wants one of those.
Muscle Wizard.
Muscly Wizard. And then I was thinking a Jedi Knight is a fighter of some kind, and then takes a little Scion for the Force powers. And on top of that, I was thinking the way the system's been designed, I feel like you could easily reflavor for any setting. Even though it's kind of more like 5th edition in that natural lean towards fantasy, I was seeing the way it's set up easily reflavored.
That was actually one of my points.
Setting agnostic. Yeah, because when he was describing the multiclass, I thought of a Jedi. I don't know why that popped in my head.
But I can automatically already see reflavoring steampunk things. Even mana, if you wanted to do away with magic, you reflavor it to being like, well, how much steam power is left in my vehicle or mech or piece of equipment or something along those lines. You could easily reflavor. And I know now we're talking homebrew stuff. But the fact that the system
Although
is...
I wouldn't even say necessarily homebrew, right? It's just I would call
reflavor.
it
You're right.
Because you're not changing any rules.
Right. You would just reflavor the rule
interpreting.
and make it make sense for your storytelling. So I think that it's kind of cool that the system is intuitive enough. And
Right.
I don't like saying simple because it's deep.
Right.
But it's...
Well, simplicity doesn't have to
Yeah.
be not deep, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And Jedi was one of the inspirations for a subclass, actually, is what Galaxy Fox.
Scion
Knight
subclass.
just said.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
See, that's stuff that we
makes
got.
That's so funny because it's just naturally what I thought.
Well,
I mean,
that's
obviously, you get any kind of vaguely Force-like powers, and you think Jedi, but like, yes, intuitive is right. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly
In the chat.
that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Oh man, there was something else I was thinking about.
Sorry, I took
No,
it
you're
over
good.
again.
You're the best.
Well, one would say I'm a little excited about this. I get pretty geeked out when things really fit the kind of story I would like to tell as a GM.
Right.
And I think, knowing I have a rather large player base, I've played with a lot of people, and I've heard the gripes from different systems. And this is a good answer. And so when people are griping to me about a system and the way the rules are, I'd be like, well, we could go play DC20.
Right. I could try to homebrew all of this for you.
Well, that's the thing.
Or
Well, with 5th edition for years, I
Yes.
was sitting here homebrewing. I was pretty much making entirely another
You were just
games with the
making-
chassis of 5th edition. And and then you always feel a little like, am I being balanced? Am I being fair to my players? Am I giving
Right.
this player too much? And
You're smiling because Wes is calling you out. already.
Wes, yeah. Why, Wes? Would you like to be part of it?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
if the coach plays. well,
Oh
yeah,
man,
you wanna
I would
play?
love to run this for the coach. That would be so cool. Wow, I guess
There's only 10 levels too, which is really nice. So you can actually finish a campaign within a
Yes,
decent amount
right,
of time.
that's right.
It's not going to take forever. I mean, we
can make it take forever.
Yes.
our 5-year campaign Bomb Squad was 10 levels, but I would say that was extra special circumstances. We played once a month.
Extra special.
Yes, it was also milestone leveling. so-
Yes, milestone leveling. So you can do the prestige system, which is 1 through 20, though, if you really want to stick to the 20 level system.
I think Galaxy is correct. We should run a one-shot on our channel.
I would
That
love
would
it.
be really
if- yes.
fun.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go through the classes that there are?
Sure.
List them
And this
off?
is just in the playtest.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying.
So you can be
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. They're going to
So
make
you
something
can-
better here. I tell you what.
you can be a fighter, a barbarian, a warlord was something really interesting. So you're like the commander of the battlefield. You can kind of tell people where to go. Paladin, you can be holy or unholy paladin. You can be a monk, a ranger, a rogue, and let's see. I like the different. I'm interested to see the druid to come out for the spellcaster kind of thing. But there are wizard, sorcerers, cleric, holy or unholy cleric, and the scion, which is the psychic, mental or telekinesis kind of powers. So
Now, they've also
So cool.
unlocked, it looks like, the Kickstarter. If you haven't had a chance, guys, go check out the Kickstarter.
Get in there now.
Michelle's got
That's
it up
what we're
there.
do we
previewing.
got?
Yeah.
What do we got?
Hours?
49 hours left? 48? Or
about
some
that.
49 hours left?
Let's go. I would love it if, even if just us doing this added a few more.
Come on, get up in there and check
There's
it out,
a $2
guys.
million stretch goal, right?
There is a $2 million
they're
stretch goal.
wicked close, relatively
They're way
speaking.
close, relatively speaking. Yeah, but they unlocked the Spellblade. I don't know if you've said that
No, I
one.
didn't
So yeah,
know
she's
that.
got up on the screen. Want to scroll down a little bit?
Oh,
for me?
that's so exciting.
Back down.
There it is.
Yep.
And then the next one, what's the stretch
Old
goal for the next
Battle
one?
Bard, that sounds cool.
It's for was it for ancestries? Or what do they call them in this system? Races, ancestries. Yeah, 4 new ancestries at 2 million. So exciting.
Sorry, Wes. I'm spending Wes's money.
Shut up and take my money.
I'm not making you. I'm just saying.
Just suggesting that, Wes, you could play with us.
I was saying.
If you don't Kickstarter and prove it to me, you're not playing. I'm just kidding.
You know what? This system makes me want to play a spellcaster, which even in a one shot, which is really surprising for me because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do a fighter. But just reading off of the different kind of spellcasters you can be and how it works, I'm like, I can do that. I can actually run a spellcaster in a more simplified way.
Well,
and there are still spells that you can see, read, and use.
I was going to say, you like to have the spells, something to work off of.
Something to work off
Yes.
of, and then flavor off of that,
Right.
I loved his video when he was talking about spell slots. He was like, I don't remember the hand gesture. I just remember the feeling of like being in his shoes.
Yes.
And spell slots, they have a feeling about them that is kind of meh.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's interesting. Yeah.
You hit your max, like you can't go above what level you're at for what kind of spell you're using.
yeah, they have some really good caps, and
but
that
the
comes.
wizard can spend one more mana, have one more mana spell,
Oh, right,
or
push
something.
beyond.
Yeah.
I think
And
the sorcerer can do something similar. The sorcerer can push their physical body and start taking damage. Yep, which I love. I love that.
It's just,
And then let's talk a little
Oh, it
bit
is
about
Ancestries, by the way, Jake. Yeah.
It is Ancestors, yeah. Yeah. Which I actually really like. I like that. And they changed feats to talents, which is kind of nice because my one gripe about Pathfinder is you have class feats, you have skill feats, you have
Path Builder, I just click all.
and sometimes being that they're all called feats or features, it can get a little muddled when you're trying to teach a new player. The fact that it differentiates, and this is just a little thing, but sticks out to me, was calling it talents. And
Delivery's everything.
right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it's crisp and purple and clean.
But then you lose the joke of which foot, right or left.
I know. I do that joke a lot. You're right. You're absolutely right. But they had the whole player progression table. I don't know if you got a chance to look at that. And I like the fact that there's an attribute cap at 1 and it goes up to 4. So attribute cap at level 1 is 3. At level 5 it's 4. And it's kind of fun. And then there's the skill mastery level cap. It goes novice, adept. But it all goes up around the same time with the caps. So it's not like, well, man, what level are we? Do I go up with this cap or that cap? It just happens at level 4, the caps raise.
Yes.
So it's like,
That's similar to Open Legend away, right?
Exactly.
Unlocking your power level based on, and it's just whatever level you hit,
Boom.
that's it for everybody.
correct.